Okay, so here's what I think is the funniest instrument: percussion. And I'll tell you why. Because if you want something to feel lighter, you add a little groove. This is something I picked up when I worked for Tree Adams, because he did a lot of comedies, and it's like just a little bit of, and it's like all of a sudden the comedy moment is starting, and it's really starting to feel, it's starting to come alive. So and it's kind of a cheating answer to say percussion, but it's really groove. You want something to be fun, add a groove, and I noticed that at sometimes I found that even in dramatic scenes, the concept of groove can still exist in terms of the propulsion of the percussion, and pulling that back allows more room for drama. So, like, I remember having to do a revision on a scene where, like, it was actually someone else. This is way back, someone else's cue, way back when I was an assistant. I had to do a revision on someone else's cue, and it was like the scene wasn't dramatic enough, and so I went for it, and there was sort of like propulsion the whole way caused by percussion. So the first thing that I remember doing is slashing all that percussion for specific moments where it had to be big dramatic turns, and then playing with the bar line a little bit as a result. It's almost like more percussion equals more comedy. It's not a hard and fast rule, but like this is something that I've just sort of gotten from various things,
Well,
and yeah.
I love that. I I first of all want to amend my answer. I'm actually going to replace tuba with slide whistle.
Nice. Very good. Very
And I
chill.
see Dell suggested choked triangle. I also want to point out, for the sake of those who might be watching this later on the recorded version, James Burt just said, "For the love of the game." Has a great cue using two piccolos featured in Counterlines. Was
Nice.
that James Horner? I know it was Kevin Costner baseball movie. I don't remember who did the score to that. Featuring a Detroit Tigers pitcher, which I liked because there aren't a lot of Detroit sports movies. Um, but the other Ben, I think your point about percussion and groove is key, but it's also key to kind of a distinction between modern comedy scoring as opposed to old fashioned, which I would call cartoonish, sort
Yeah.
of Looney Tunes style, where and Lily, to your point about scoring a fight scene using a tango, of course, John Powell did that in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was fantastic, but it made these incredibly brutal fight scenes hilarious,
Yeah.
which was exactly the point there. James says it's Basil Polidorus, fantastic composer. Um,